Okay, now we are ready to record our model. Okay, so we are, in order to build our model that we described, the call center model, we have to go through some steps. In the first video, we are going to go, actually previous video was the description of the problem statement. In this video, we are going to be talking about the steps to build the model. We are going to have 2, 4, 6, 7 steps to build the model. We are going to start with the first step. In the handout that I gave you, you're going to be finding more information about which panels we are going to be using when we are working on this model. So we mostly work on basic process panel, advanced process panel. Later on for the animation we are going to use advanced transfer panel, and then we are going to use blocks panel as well. And the descriptions, you can find them here. In the advanced process, I'm going to just shortly tell you the difference between basic process panel and advanced process panel. As an example, I can tell you that the process that works in basic process panel is separated into 3 pieces in advanced process panel. So as seize, delay, release, they are separated, and it is more convenient to use in the separated version like that. That's why we have that. Advanced transfer panel, we will use this for transporters and conveyors, entity movements in general. Blocks panel, we use this for special purpose modeling constructs that are not available in the previous panels. For example, while loops, you can find them here. Okay, yeah, I think this is a good information for you. You can read more in here. Next, what do? We expect to have the first part of the model is going to look like that. We are going to have create call arrivals. This is a create module. This is going to give us information about the call arrivals, and then afterwards, when a call comes, it's going to be either accepted or rejected, and we have to record the attempted calls that are coming in. So this record is going to be useful for that. Afterwards, there's this trunk line available. This decide module, it asks about whether the trunk line is available or not. If the trunk line is not available, which means the call is going to be rejected, then we go to this way, and we want to record how many calls have been rejected. So we have this record module here to count the rejected calls, and then we dispose this rejected call here with the dispose module. On the other hand, if the trunk line would be available, it's going to be first seized, accepted by a staff, by an actual electronic recording, and then since it's accepted, we start counting this active call by the assign module, increment active call counter. Each time we get an active call, we increment it here. Afterwards, we have to tell how many minutes there was a delay during this recording, which is going to be done by this delay module. Before and after, we have new, this delay module is new for you too. So we seize module and delay module is new, and also the store module and unstore module, they are new for you. This store module, it just stores the entity, and then unstore module is gonna remove that, but these are for animation purposes. After this, since there's someone calling, so it has to be directed to other options, like determine the call type. The call type, is it for technical purposes or sales purposes? Is the caller want to buy a new item, or if the call is about order status, checking the order status of a order that a caller had done long before. So there are three types, as we said before. So this decide module is going to determine which call type this is going to be, and we will talk about the rest of this in our next video, so we are not going to talk about this now. Usually a list is very useful, like a list like that is useful. What is this list? You can get a pen and write it down. So you first want to create arriving calls, that's the first step, and then you want to record the attempted calls, so you use this record in here, and then a trunk line could be busy or not. So if the trunk line is available, then you're going to seize the call, you're going to increment the call counter, and you're going to delay for the recording, and then next you're going to determine the call type, and then you're going to direct the call type to the proper department. If the trunk line is not available, which is else here, then the call is going to be rejected. You're going to count the rejected calls, and then you're going to dispose that call. So you can write it down by a pen or pencil on a piece of paper, and it's going to help you when you continue. Okay, the create module is going to be expressed as follows. So let's open up a new sheet or new DOE file, and then start building it. So we are going to have a create module as a start. In the create module, we have to name the create module. So the create module, create call arrivals. So the name of the create module would be this. The entity type is the incoming calls. We want to call it incoming calls. Okay, or incoming call is the entity type, and we expect the calls to arrive, or the time between arrivals is exponentially distributed. That's what it is given, and every 0.857 minutes. So we have to change this hours to minutes because of that. Okay, now entities per arrival, this is the time between arrivals. So there's this much, almost 1 minute time between arrivals. But how often do the entities come? For this, we are doing something new. We are going to use variables in there. Okay, calls per arrival. Okay, and then maximum arrivals also we are going to define a new variable, which is maximum calls, and we click OK. Of course, these variables will not appear in the data module right away. Okay, these ones I did that before, so I'm going to erase them. Okay, these I did that for my previous, so I'm going to redo that again. Okay, so you wouldn't see them when you first started. Okay, maybe I should erase the other parts as well. So these I have to erase. These they are from my previous work. Okay, no attributes, I guess. Cues, yeah. Schedule, picture. Okay, it should be okay. Let's see anything else I have to assign. Okay, decide. Okay, it seems it's clear now. Okay, so we go to okay, first of all we have this entity, so I'm gonna double click entity, and I want to enter that here. The entity is a trunk line that's gonna go through the system. Okay, and for the picture I want to assign it. Usually we use assign for it, but in this case we want to assign that. Okay, I want to make it like black, as it says in the paper. You can have it red as well. So this is my entity. Okay, and then pardon, this trunk line is the resource, entity is the incoming call. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Incoming call, incoming call. Okay, incoming call. since I erased it, so I have to enter it back. So let's erase this too. Okay, so this entity would be automatically actually built when I entered it here, but the variable, it doesn't, so we have to enter the variable. As you go through, okay, this the handout I gave you, the variable, you have to go to the variable data module, and you have to enter these variables in there. For maximum, so we have these two plus total work in progress. Calls per arrival there's going to be one row, and the value is going to be 1, and maximum calls there's going to be one row, and the initial values will be 999999. Okay, that's what we are going to enter now in Arena. So let's enter that. So calls per arrival, calls per arrival. So I'm gonna make it a little bit wider so that I can see it. Okay, and initial rows would be, there's gonna be one row, calls per arrival, calls are gonna arrive one at a time, so I'm gonna put this one in here. I double click here to add another variable here, which is, okay, max calls. Maximum calls will be restricted to this number, 999999. Okay, close that. Another variable we will use later on is total work in progress, and that's it. So let's enter that here for the future. So we entered the variables now. We have to mention that this variable maximum calls will be useful. This variable will be useful to terminate the call arrivals in the next section. So we will discuss that later on. Okay, and next we want to what we want to do. We want to record the attempted calls. Yeah. So we need to go to basic process, get a record from here. Okay, get a record from here. Let's connect them to here. Okay. Okay, for this you can easily see that information in our handout too. Look, record attempted calls. They are going to count the attempted calls one value at a time. The counter name will be attempted calls. So let's do that. Okay, let's go to our record attempted calls. Okay, add. Okay, it's gonna be a count type. Look, we choose the count type. We want to count it. The value is 1. The counter name, we want to change it to attempted calls, so that we recognize what this is. Okay, we click OK, and then after record, we want to decide. We have a decide module about the trunk line availability. Okay, so let's find the decide module about the trunk line availability, because sometimes trunk lines are all busy and it's not available. For that, let's open up our this is our decide module, trunk line. So we are going to say trunk line available. We are going to define the type as two-way by condition, and we are going to have this if expression. If the number of trunk lines that are busy is less than or equal to number of trunk lines that are available or scheduled, then the trunk line is available, and go for it. Okay, that's what we are going to do. So let's do that. Okay, for the decide module, we are going to say trunk line available. We are going to ask the question. Okay, we are going to, the type is going to be two-way by condition. and this is gonna be expression and the value. So for this we have to right click and we have to choose the build expression. For this we are gonna go to basic process variables, okay, here, and then see, we don't see, so we want to talk about the trunk line is a resource. So trunk line availability, for the expression type we have to find the resource here, but it doesn't show the resource. Okay, we click OK, so there is some, we click OK here too. So we should add the resource because it doesn't recognize. Okay, so there's this resource trunk line 9. Okay, trunk line. So now we define the resource. So when we go back to the decide module, if you do the expression again, okay, right click expression, we are gonna go to the basic process variables here, okay, and then now you see the resource because now we have it, because we defined it. If you don't define it, you don't see it. And from here we are gonna go to the usage, okay, usage of the resource. We have this current number scheduled and current number busy. So we want the current number busy to be less than or equal to current number scheduled, okay? And we click OK. And according to that, this is the true value. If the current number busy is less than or equal to current number scheduled, then we are gonna seize that means trunk line is available, and we are going to continue. Otherwise, the line is going to be, the call is going to be rejected. So we have to record the rejected calls as well. So therefore, I want to go to the record basic process panel and then record the rejected calls here. Record and rejected calls. Okay, rejected calls, because no way they are rejected. Okay, and we want to count for the rejected calls. Okay, we just say the type is going to be count again, and the value is going to be 1, but the counter name is going to be rejected calls. Okay, we want to click OK. So I want to connect this to this because this is the false case when the calls are rejected. If and then after they are recorded, I want to dispose them. So let's dispose them too. Where's dispose? Dispose right here. Okay. So I'm gonna say dispose rejected calls. Rejected calls. Okay, click OK. I want to connect this to this. Okay, but if the call is not rejected, so that's accepted. For that, we have to seize the call. Okay, we are not using process here because instead of process, we are going to be going to advanced process, and we are going to use seize separately. Okay. You can consider this is a part of the process that we learned in basic process, which it is actually. And we are going to seize the call. And, okay, seize trunk line. Okay, other allocation is going to be other, priority is other. You can see this in here too. Okay, other resource trunk line. Say the resource, there's this for the seize, there's a resource which is trunk line, and then okay, and there's this data module version of that too. Quantity to seize is 1. Okay, so we are gonna add that. The resource is gonna be a trunk line. Trunk line we are going to seize. Trunk line is going to seize the call. Okay, that's why it's our okay. And let's combine these two, after the cease line, cease trunk line, okay, we are going to we want to record. So since the call is ceased, it's active. Okay, so we want to count them too. So how would you count them? We are going to count that by using an assign module. So I'm going to go to my basic process, and I'm going to use this assign here, and I'm going to connect this to this. Okay, assign module. This is increment active call counter, active call counter, and add. So variable, we are going to add a variable. See, we have other options, but we want to add variable here. The variable name is going to be total VIP. We can find it here too. So we define these per okay, total VIP, and then new value is going to be total work in progress plus 1. So we increment the calls right here. Okay, click OK. So this is our incrementing the call counts. Afterwards, as I told you, so the calls are going to be responded by an electronic recording. So we have this delay module, but before the delay module, for animation purposes, I want to introduce you to the store and unstore. So I'm going to have store, okay, and I'm going to have unstore the call, okay, and in between I want to put a delay module too. Okay, I had this cease delay separately right now. In the process module, in basic process panel, they were all together, but now they are all separated. Also, store and unstore is a new thing for you too. Okay, so what do we do in the store? In the store, okay, let's go to our sheet. Okay, for the store, for initial recording delay, so there's going to be a delay in the initial recording. Okay, so we want to depict this, we want to show this in the animation. So we have this store is going to store the entity for that short amount of time, delay time, and then it's going to unstore it, and this is going to show on the animation. That's what we need for the animation purposes. Okay, so store for initial recording delay. Yeah, okay, type is going to be storage, and and the storage name is going to be initial recording storage. Then I'm going to erase this one here. Okay, storage. Okay, click OK. Okay, so similar, unstore is going to unstore that recording delay. Okay, and I'm going to put it into default so that it's not going to show up in the animation anymore, this delay. Okay, this is all for animation purposes. For the delay, okay, for the delay is for initial, okay, recording delay. Okay, the delay time is uniformly distributed. Okay, and the minimum value is going to be 0.1, and the maximum value is going to be 0.6. 0.6, yeah, and everything is in terms of minutes, and this is for the delaying time. So it takes minimum 0.1, or I should say uniform distribution in this interval, minutes, okay, for the recording. Okay, so I want to now connect all these guys to each other, and from here to here, and then from here to here. Okay, after this on store, where do we go? So we have a call right now, and the call is responded by electronic reply, and it took some time. I mean, uniformly 01 to 06 minutes, and then afterwards the call is going to be directed to the correct department. Okay, so for that, as you see, we would need another decide module. I'm gonna put this decide module right here. Okay, right here, a little bit lower. Okay, and I'm gonna connect this on store to that. Okay, I did that. Maybe I can move these guys a little bit up, and this also up. Okay, and then so this decide module, later on we will talk about. It's gonna say, the name of this is gonna be determine call type. Okay, okay, this is gonna be n way by chance, but we will enter these information as follows. I have to look at the values though. Where are the values? Let's see. Yeah, and I'm gonna add 76%. 76% of the time it's gonna be directed to the technical support, and then I wanna add what's next? 16%. 16% of the time it is directed to the sales, and and otherwise is the 8% left over. So that's what we are gonna do, and I want to stop it right now, and I want to save it. Do not forget to save your work. Okay, talk to you in my next video.